Yeah, sorry about that, folks. Hey, good evening, USA, International, Canada, Long Island, aka Strong Island, the tri-state areas of New Jersey, Connecticut, plus the five spots of Brooklyn, Bronx, Manhattan, Staten Island, and Queens. This is your man and homie, G Money Stacks, aka the Gregonator, rhymes with now or later. Your host with the most, misunderstood, lonely nomad, unstoppable independent podcaster, creator, YouTuber, and Queens, New York native, who is also a New York Giants and New York Mets fan from the neck of the woods of Laurelton, Queens, New York. And you are now rocking with me by tuning in, streaming, listening, and watching the 437th episode of Off the Meat Rat Chainz New York Avenue podcast. And Merry Christmas to everybody. We're live and direct from StreamYard alongside with YouTube and alongside with the comfort of my room where I do my podcast recordings in this space platform based on various topics in music, TV news, New York City Transit with the MTA. There's movie news, tech, and of course, gaming. All right. I hope y'all had a chance to do your last minute Christmas shopping. Um, and I hope y'all had the opportunity to take advantage of it. And yes, speaking of which, be sure to click on that subscribe button on the YouTube channel page of G Money Stacks 555. Leave a like and a comment alongside with the topics being discussed in each episode. And of course, don't forget to also leave a 5-star rating on Apple Podcast alongside with a review. Tell me your feedback. It'll give me the confidence as a host of this podcast and multiple podcast shows that I do, so I could create more content, new topics, and of course, new episodes. All right. Also, let me just say this though. Be sure to enable alerts so you don't miss out on any video uploads, and of course, when I'll be on the air via live stream. All right. Um. All right. I want to really cut to the chase. Oh, before I wrap up today's episode, I want to actually remind majority of the football fans that there is some games tomorrow. I want to actually mention that. I didn't get a chance to mention it in my sports podcast, so I'm going to mention it here. All right, so I will definitely talk about this. All right, so let's get to the New York Mass Transit files right here. We got some transit talk about. All right. Yeah, sorry about the sirens. You probably hearing like an ambulance passing by the neighborhood. All right. Okay. All right, so let's take a look at our first topic for transit. All right, so let's. All right, so let me. Oh Lord. So I want to actually get to. Hang on 1 second here. Um, come on. Where was I? Yes. Okay. All right, here we go. Here we go. All right, so the MTA approved a $21.3 billion operating budget for 2026 on Wednesday, a plan that leans heavily on a robust economy to keep New York New York's transit system afloat. The plan anticipates a robust economy to keep the Big Apple's transit system afloat, with 43% of the MTA's operating budget now funded by taxes linked to the financial strength of the city and state. Officials warn that any economic downturn could quickly leave the agency with growing deficits as even as they plan fare and toll hikes and count on new revenue from casinos. Oh boy. The financial plan anticipates budget gaps of $160 million in 2027, $243 million in 2028, and $306 million in 2029. And that's with 4% fare increases scheduled for March 2027 and March 2029. Hmm, I see. Um, the MTA also expects to collect hundreds of millions of dollars annually from new casinos beginning in 2026, revenue that could be at risk if casino openings are delayed. Board member Neil Zuckerman, who chairs the finance committee, said the plan reflects real but limited progress in cutting costs. This is not an easy organization to cut costs in, Zuckerman said, noting that labor makes up most of the agency's expenses. If we don't find these savings, we may have to raise fares even more, Zuckerman warned. MTA has bragged that the agency has already secured $500 million in savings by changing maintenance practices and bringing some work in house. Officials pledged to trim another $250 million by 2029, but offered few specifics, promising details in future plans. Congestion pricing, which began in early 2025, will not help offset day-to-day costs. By law, that money can only fund long-term construction and modernization projects, not operations. Well, well, that part might be true. Um, all right. All right. By the way, folks, my apologies for accidentally being on mute after starting the recording. Um, Okay. Okay. Let me just. Hold on. Still, MTA chair and CEO General Lieber insisted uh, the agency's finances are very solid while simultaneously acknowledging the risk of an economic slowdown. The MTA is in very solid financial shape, said Lieber, who rakes in $400,000 a year as MTA boss. We're always conservative in our projections, he said. I'm always concerned about the economy. It affects ridership and everything else, but I'm optimistic. We plan for every scenario. Yeah, good luck with that. Good luck with that shit. Let's see. Let's see. All right. I want to get into this actually, which is very important. So the MTA is modifying service on the city's subways, buses, and commuter rails for Christmas and New Year's. The subways and buses will both follow a Sunday schedule on Christmas Day and New Year's Day, this Thursday and next, according to the transit agency. On the day of Christmas Eve, Wednesday, the subways regular will run regular weekday service. Bus routes across Manhattan, Brooklyn, the Bronx, and Queens will operate on reduced weekday schedules on both the days of Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve. The reduced weekday schedules will also be in place on Friday, December 26th. That's coming up. Monday, December 29th, and Tuesday, December 30th. However, some routes in Queens, as well as the B100, B103, BM1 through BM5, and all BXM routes will stay on a weekday schedule. The Long Island Railroad will operate on a schedule for Christmas Eve and a Sunday schedule on both Christmas Day and New Year's Day. And for the people who ride Metro North, the people from Connecticut, this one's for you. The Metro North Railroad will operate Friday service on the three east of Hudson lines from Monday through Wednesday, both this week and next week. Excuse me, both this week and next with extra midday and mid-afternoon service. That schedule will also be in place both this Friday and next as well. The system will run hourly on its Hudson, Harlem, and New Haven main lines on Christmas Day, with regular weekend service on its uh, Wassaic, New New Canaan, New Canaan, Danbury, and Waterbury branches. Metro North's west of Hudson lines will maintain a weekday schedule this week and next. There will be some changes to the service on Christmas Eve and the weekend, including Christmas Day. More trains to Times Square for New Year's. hundreds of thousands of people will pour into Times Square to watch the ball drop on New Year's Eve. If you are planning on braving the elements to be one of them, public transit is your best bet for getting there. On New Year's Eve, December 31st, the MTA will boost service on the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 C, D, G, L, and Q, R trains and 42nd Street lines, 42nd Street S lines to help riders reach the Times Square ball drop or other festivities around the five boroughs. The A train will also run express until 2:30 a.m. on December 26th. And for Long Islanders, the LARR, meanwhile, will run 11 additional trains across the Babylon, Montauk, Ronkonkoma, Port Jefferson, and Port Washington lines heading into Grand Central Madison and Penn Station on the day of New Year's Eve. Starting in the early evening, then in the overnight hours, the system will run 12 additional trains on the same lines headed out of the same stations back to Long Island. On the day of New Year's Eve, Metro North will run extra late evening and post midnight service. For New Year's Day, there will be hourly service on the Hudson and Harlem lines with extra trains on the New Haven line and weekend service on the Wassaic, New Canaan, Danbury, and Waterbury branches. This is for the people who are from Connecticut and, of course, Manhattan. The West of Hudson lines will operate weekday service on the day of New Year's Eve with extra service in the late evening and early morning hours. They will run a Sunday schedule on New Year's Day. All right. Hold on. Hold on a minute here. I noticed that the E train is not even in there. That's crazy. How come the E is not in this? How come the E train's not in this shit? That's what people rely on. All right. Okay, so all right. Hold on one second here. All right. The Staten Island Railway fleet is now entirely made up of new R211 subway cars, replacing ones that have been in service for more than 50 years. 50 years. Um, More than 50 years, MTA officials announced on September that took place on September 12th. The new fleet replaces a bunch of R44 cars dating back to 1973 and features pre-installed security cameras in each car and 58-inch wide door openings that are 8 inches wider than the standard door openings on the older fleet. Wider doors are designed to speed up boarding and reduce the amount of time trains sit in stations. The cars also have additional accessible seating, digital displays to provide station specific information, and brighter lighting and signage, which the MTA said will improve the customer experience. The MTA started rolling out the fleet last year. New rolling stock is a huge part of the MTA's fully funded capital plan, and now Staten Island is the first borough to get a full fleet of R211s train cars. R211S train cars, said MTA Chair and CEO Jano Lieber. The new models not only look great, but they are key to running more reliable service for the borough's thousands of daily riders. In in line with best industry practices, the R44 cars will still be available for a few years as the new fleet is introduced. Um, according to the MTA, Borough President Vito Fasella, who has been at odds lately with the MTA over congestion pricing and express bus service, welcomed the new cars to Staten Island. We are pleased that after 50 years, the Staten Island Railway will finally be completely up to speed with the rest of the city, Fasella said. The newer trains are a welcome development for safety, accessibility, and comfort when traveling. We will continue to support and advocate for modernizing our Staten Island Railway and putting our commuters first. NYC Transit President Demetrius Critchlow, who was once the head of the SIR, said the cars will make riders' trips undeniably better along the train's 21 stops, most of which are free to use. This major milestone of successfully introducing all of the R211S cars, R211s, R211's cars into service on the Staten Island Railway means smoother commutes for Staten Islanders, Critchlow said. All right. Okay, so I hope you folks out there that's like going to different destinations and stuff know what's going on with the service changes for Christmas Day and New Year's Day. Um, you know what I'm saying? All right. All right, let's get to all right. Hold on one second here. Hold on. We need to talk about the recent passing of Rob Reiner and how he passed, you asked. I will get into that in the latest segment of Chatting All the Jazz. Yeah. Um yeah, so recently two people passed. According to the folks from People, Rob Reiner and his wife Michelle's official death certificates confirmed details about their killings. Obtained by People on Tuesday, December 23rd, the documents confirm Rob's age 78 and Michelle, age 70, died of multiple sharp force injuries inside their Los Angeles home on Sunday, December 14th, caused with a knife by another. The time between the onset of injuries and death is listed as minutes. The death certificate indicate Rob was found first at about 3:45 p.m. and Michelle, listed who is listed as widowed, was discovered at 3:46 p.m. They have since been cremated according to the death certificates. People previously reported that their bodies were um, repatri- repatriated to the family on December 19th. TMZ was first to report the death certificate details. Rob and Michelle's 32-year-old son, Nick, has been arrested and is facing 2 counts of first-degree murder in connection with the deaths of his parents. Nick is being held without bail. He briefly appeared in court on December 17th, but has not yet entered a plea. According to multiple reports, Nick was being treated with schizophrenia prior to the killings. That's fucking insane, man. That's insane, man. You mean to fucking tell me that you are using schizophrenia as an excuse to kill your parents, really? Why you think the Menendez brothers is already in prison? They killed their parents. It's crazy. This is this is crazy, man. Yeah, so Rob and Michelle met while he was directing When Harry Met Sally and got nominated in 1989. The couple had three kids: Nick, Romy, and Jake. Rob also adopted his daughter Tracy during his first marriage to Penny Marshall. Information about a memorial. Oh boy. Information about a memorial service honoring Rob and Michelle will be shared at a later date. At a later date, a spokesperson for Romy and Jake said December 22nd. A statement shared December 17th. Jake and Romy said, "Words cannot even begin to describe the unimaginable pain we are experiencing every moment of the day. The horrific and devastating loss of our parents, Rob and Michelle Reiner, is something that no one should ever experience. Um, they weren't just our parents; they were our best friends. We are grateful for the outpouring of condolences, kindness, and support we have received, not only from family and friends, but people from all walks of life." They added. We now ask for respect and privacy, for speculation to be tempered with compassion and humanity, and for our parents to be remembered for the incredible lives they lived and the love they gave. Now, for those of you who may not know, Rob Reiner, I believe he's from All in the Family. I believe he's from All in the Family, if I'm not mistaken, because I don't forget a face actually, because I recognized him from All in the Family, and I never seen When Harry Met Sally. I never got into it, but so SIP to Rob Reiner and Michelle Reiner. All right. So, all right. If you think that's crazy, there's more people losing jobs, and let's see. So, yeah, so in another grim sign for the US labor market, jobless claim applications jumped to their highest level in almost 4 years last week, virtually assuring the Federal Reserve will cut its benchmark interest rate next week. It's from AP News. Uh, the number of Americans filing for unemployment benefits for the week um, ending September, ending that yeah, ending September 6th actually rose by 27,000 to 263,000. The Labor Department reported Thursday. Um, that's the most applications since the week of October 23rd, 2021, and well above the 231,000 new applications economists forecast. It's also the biggest week to week increase in almost a year. Most analysts were already forecasting an interest rate cut after Fed Chair Jerome Powell signaled as much at a conference of central bankers 3 weeks ago. However, another report Thursday showing that consumer inflation remains elevated could complicate the Fed's dual mandate of keeping prices in check while supporting a healthy labor market. Typically, the Fed would cut its key rate when unemployment rose in an attempt to spur more spending and growth, but it would do the opposite and raise rates or keep them unchanged in the face of rising inflation. The high inflation print will not likely change the Fed's plan to cut rates in September, but it's possible the Fed will hold in October if inflation expectations no longer look well contained, said Jeffrey Roach, chief um, economist for LPL Financial. Fed Fed officials recently have expressed greater concern about the deteriorating labor market than inflation. And while a rate cut could spur economic growth and boost the job market, economists fear it could push inflation even farther above the Fed's target of 2%. Earlier this week, the Bureau of Labor Statistics issued a massive preliminary revision of U.S. job gain for the 12 months ending in March. Further evidence that the labor market has not been as strong as previously thought. The BLS's revised figures showed that U.S. employers added 911,000 fewer jobs than originally reported in the year ending in March 2025, with the biggest weakness coming from the leisure and hospitality sector, professionals, and business services and retail. The report showed that job gains were tapered long before Cheeseface President 47 rolled out his far-reaching tariffs on U.S. trading partners in April. The department issues the revisions every year, intending to better account for new businesses and ones that had gone out of business. Final revisions will come out in February 2026. The updated figures came after the agency reported Friday that the economy generated just 22,000 jobs in August, well below the 80,000 economists were expecting. Also also last week, the government said that US employers advertised 7.2 million job openings at the end of July, fewer than economists had forecast, and the first time since April of 2021 that there were more unemployed Americans than job postings. Last month's July employment report, which showed job gains of just 73,000 and included huge downward revisions for June and May, sent financial markets spiraling and prompted Cheeseface President 47 to fire the head of the agency that compiles the monthly data. The various labor markets have bolstered fears that Cheeseface President 47's erratic economic policies, including the unpredictable taxes on imports, have created so much uncertainty that businesses are reluctant to hire. Damn. Broader U.S. Economic growth has weakened so far this year as many companies have pulled back on expansion projects amid the uncertainty surrounding the impacts of the tariffs. Growth slowed down, growth slowed to about a 1.3% annual rate in the first half of the year, down from 2.5% in 2024. Thursday's unemployment benefits report showed that the 4-week average of claims, which evens out some of the week to week of volatility, rose by 9,750 to 240,500. The total number of Americans collecting unemployment benefits for the previous week of August 30th was unchanged at 1.94 million. Weekly applications for jobless benefits are considered a proxy for layoffs and have mostly settled in a historically low range between 200,000 and 250,000 since the U.S. began to emerge from the COVID-19 slandemic nearly 4 years ago. All right. Man, you got to really feel for these people, man. The hardworking people. Yeah, I feel yeah. All right. All right, so let's go to all right. The next topic we're going to be talking about here is Public Enemy sending a message to the current president. Public Enemy made their stance loud and clear as they rallied behind Jimmy Kimmel with with a bold message and a performance on live television. Public Enemy brought a message of solidarity to Brooklyn on Monday night that took place on September 29th during a charged performance on Jimmy Kimmel Live, using the stage not just for a medley of hits, but to publicly support um, Jimmy Kimmel amid his ongoing feud with former Cheeseface President 47 and the FCC. Um, let's see. Let's see. The hip hop pioneers lit up the Brooklyn Academy of Music with a 3-song set, including "Don't Believe the Hype." The hits "Just Keep on Coming" and their unmistakable protest anthem "Fight the Power." Um, but it was Flavor Flav's words before the music dropped that drew the loudest reaction. Hey, yo, Jimmy Kimmel, we are Public Enemy, and I just want you to know that Public Enemy always got your back. Flav shouted, turning to reveal "Fight the Power" emblazoned across the back of his jacket. The appearance came during a special week of Jimmy Kimmel Live tapings in Brooklyn as Kimmel continues to deal with fallout from his recent suspension and of course Cheeseface President 47's threats of legal action. Cheeseface President 47 lashed out at ABC for reinstating Kimmel's show, accusing the network of airing 99% positive Democrat garbage and suggesting it amounted to an illegal campaign contribution. The suspension followed controversial remarks Kimmel made about conservative figure Charlie Kirk after Kirk's assassination, which prompted pressure from Cheeseface President 47 allies and FCC Commissioner Brendan Carr. Um, Kimmel's return, however, came with a ratings boost. His comeback episode drew over 6 million viewers, the biggest audience for his show in a decade, even with some local affiliates refusing to air it. Meanwhile, Public Enemy continues to make noise on their own terms. In June, the group dropped Black Sky over the project's Apartment 2025 unexpectedly on Bandcamp. By the way, Jimmy Kimmel, I think he signed a 1-year deal with ABC. So we'll see what happens next. All right. Let's go to let's go to let's go to Gunna. Gunna and Offset's joint album. Hold on a second. And this is from Billboard. On the heels of releasing his last one album, Gunna has confirmed plans for a joint project with Offset, which he says is currently in the works. Gunna revealed that the collab album with Offset was on the way during his Apple Music Live celebration in Los Angeles on Monday night that took place on September 22nd, which found him in conversation with Ebro Darden, I will talk about him in the next episode and his situation with Hot 97 in the next episode, so stay tuned for that. Who teased the idea of a project with the Migos alum. Definitely Gunna said, yes, it's in the works, but I like we spacing it out. You know, he dropped his album, I dropped my album, I was on his, he was on mine, and I feel like that was sprinkles and breadcrumbs for us to give you that meal soon. Oh wow. Oh shit. There have been rumors circulating about an Offset Gunna joint album last year as set tease tracks featuring them trading bars on Instagram Live in October. He also hinted at cooking the joint project in an X interaction with a fan in February. The Prada Dem duo even hit the stage in Atlanta in June for the Hot 107.9 birthday bash at State Farm Arena. They continue to work while exchanging features on their 2025 solo albums, as Set appeared on the last ones at My Purist, and Gunna returned the favor on Kiari's Different Species. The duo has joined forces on numerous occasions in the past while teaming up for Prada Them, Style Rare, Beat the Case, and Wild Wild West. Gunna's The Last One album serves as his sixth solo LP, and the project debuted at number 3 on the Billboard 200 with 80,000 total album equivalent units earned. All right, next we got rappers who receive the key to the city. All right, let's talk about that. Um, okay, okay, rappers and hip hop executives with a key to the city. Let's take a look here. Oh shit. Let's see. In the 5 decades since DJ Kool Herc willed hip hop into existence back in 1973, giving back to the community has been one of the things that has remained intact as a primary focus of the culture. Doing good for the hood is something that is ingrained within hip hop's fabric. A highly regarded form of this recognition is when rappers are presented with a key to the city. The centuries long tradition not only signifies that the recipient of a key to the city has provided a great benefit to a certain community as a whole, it also serves as a direct implication that a rapper is universally beloved by the places they call home. Okay. Major cities all over the country have bestowed keys to the city upon some of hip hop's major figures through the years. Artists like Nicki Minaj beamed with pride when her hometown of Queens recognized her accomplishments both inside and outside of the vocal booth with a key in 2017. When Drake was given Toronto's key to the city in 2016, he described the honor presented to him by his home city as one of the greatest moments of his life. That same month in 2016, the city of Compton blessed Kendrick Lamar with the time honored award touting the hometown MC as a phenomenal artist whose work has served as a catalyst to raise a new level of consciousness for this generation. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, so yeah, Kendrick Lamar is one of them. Let me see. Kendrick Lamar is one of them. Let me see. Hold on. And Drake is one of them. Actually, hold on. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Drake is one of them. Of course. Um, yeah. So Toronto and Memphis, Shelby County, Tennessee. Reason this took place February 12th, 2016, and June 26th, 2023. The sixth god was awarded the key to Toronto for being the de facto host of 2016 All Star Weekend. In 2023, Drizzy received the key to Shelby County, Tennessee, for his music that, according to County Commissioner Mikhail Lowry, touches the world. Nicki Minaj from Queens, New York, the chart the chart topping rapper moved to Jamaica, Queens when she was 5 years old from Trinidad and has always repped her borough in her music. Fetty Wap. Fetty may still be a young artist. His debut is less than a month away. Yeah. But he's already broken Billboard chart records and made it to the cover of the 2015 XXL freshman issue. But he's also done a lot to give back to his hometown of Patterson. And in late August, he performed a back to school concert for Patterson high schoolers, which after which Mayor Jose Joey Torres presented the rising rapper with the key to the city, followed by Little Kim. Um, Difficult to find someone who received a key to the city in Florida while in New York under indictment, but there you have it. Foxy Brown, the Brooklyn native, became the first female rapper to earn the key to her New York borough in March of 2016. Dr. Dre, musical accomplishments. Fabulous, born and raised in in the New York borough, Fab has represented hard for his neighborhood in every step of his long-time work. You can also check out Fabulous on the Let's Talk No, Let's Rap About It podcast with Jim Jones, Mano, and Dave East on YouTube and streaming platforms. Public Enemy induction into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2013 and their free air initiative dedicated to preserving and promoting local radio stations across the country. Master P, long the philanthropist and businessman, Master P made his name in the New Orleans music scene in the late 1990s, but it was Memphis who honored him in 2008 for his work within the Tennessee community. Percy Miller handed out school supplies to the elementary and middle school students who attended the event as well. Ludacris. Ludacris from ATL. His work through his own Ludacris Foundation, which provides scholarships and helps inner city youth. Kevin Liles from Baltimore, a seasoned executive in the music business and an author to boot. Lyles was recognized for pushing hip hop forward in directions it had never entered before. Bun B, Houston, Texas native. In addition to being one of hip hop's kindest people and most respected lyricists, Bun B is also a professor at Rice. What? Oh man, hold up. Rice University. That name really threw me off the whole. And an advocate for his state and his city. Rice University. Oh man. Um let's see. Mr. Fab, um, Oakland, the Bay Area rapper, has been impacting his city through annual holiday giveaways and aid to cancer and domestic violence survivors. 50 Cent, his work with kids and the fact that he owns, or at least he did then, a mansion in the city, it seems. David Banner, Jackson, Mississippi, promoting literacy and repping his hometown in Mississippi through his music. I'm not gonna get into the Diddy thing, man. 3 6 Mafia, Memphis, Tennessee, winning an Oscar at the 2006 Academy Awards for the song "It's Hard Out Here for a Pimp" from the Hustle and Flow soundtrack. The late great Mac Miller from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, a graduate of Taylor Alder Alder Alderdice High School. Mac was awarded for his contributions to music and his dedication to his city. Yo Gotti received the hometown honor while at his own birthday bash in July. City officials brought out the plaque and made the decree while on stage with Gotti. Last night, they gave me a key to the city, and a day they officially made June 29th Yo Gotti Day. Shit, legend, hashtag legendary, wrote Gotti on Instagram. Pitbull, Miami, Florida native, Mr. 305 has long been a vocal advocate for his city and has stuck up for it and its residents on more than one occasion. In addition to being one of the most successful businessmen in hip hop, he's also gone to war with Lil Wayne, among others, to protect its reputation. Um, After a marketing ploy with Walmart that offered a Pitbull performance in any city, who won an online contest turned into an internet campaign to get Pitbull to go to Alaska. The rapper and the city of Kodak responded in the best way possible by playing along and making things fun. When he got to the city, Pitbull received a key and posed with fans and traditional um, Alutiiq dancers. Rod Digger, Newark, New Jersey native, the former protege of Busta Rhymes, was honored by her city for her contributions to music, having made quite a name for herself in the industry to that point. Rick Ross, aka The Boss. Uh, Rick Ross was honored with a key to Miami during the 5,000 Role Models 31st annual Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Scholarship Breakfast. Rose was honored for his contribution to the city and was additionally inducted into the Library of Congress. Ross used his acceptance speech to shout out the work of Congresswoman, Frederica Wilson, who was also being honored at the event. In quote, "It means so much for me to be here," Ross said in his acceptance speech. "Everywhere we went, we saw her name before we saw her face. As I got older, as a boss, I understand what the youngsters want to see and want to achieve. There's nothing wrong with wanting to be successful. These are your brothers and sisters in this room." Birdman and Slim, um, biological brothers and co-founders of the iconic Cash Money Records, Birdman and Slim were presented with the key to New Orleans for their decades-long contributions to both their hometown and the music industry. In announcing the honor, New Orleans Mayor Latoya Cantrell acknowledged Baby and Slim's impact with a statement of gratitude. "As sons of the city of New Orleans, I admire your significant contributions to the music industry, steadfast encouragement of emerging artists, and your embodiment of the enduring spirit of New Orleans through a lifelong commitment to community betterment," Mayor Cantrell said. "On behalf of the city of New Orleans, we thank you for maintaining strong ties to your roots. Johnny and Gladys Williams would be proud." T-Pain, Tallahassee, Florida native, was honored with the key to the city of his hometown, Tallahassee, Florida, as well as a street in his name, T-Pain Lane. Tallahassee Mayor John Daly cited the Florida crooner's contributions to music and his ongoing commitment to this community. Kodak Black, Pompano Beach, Florida. Never heard of that area. Um, um, Bless the rapper. Hold on. Kodak Black's hometown of Pompano Beach, Florida. Blessed the rapper with the key to the city in recognition of his community contributions. Mayor Hardin lauded Kodak's philanthropy to his community, how he provided AC units, delivered hundreds of turkeys on the holidays, gave Christmas presents to children, and paid rent for 200 struggling families in Pompano Beach. Flow Rider, Miami-Dade County, Florida. Um, yeah, Flow Rider was honored with the key to Miami-Dade County, Florida, for his efforts to give back to the community with his Florida Youth Football League. It's not the hundreds of millions of streams, District 1 Commissioner Oliver G. Gilbert said during the ceremony. I bring people here and I give them key to the county when they are benefiting them. They are a testament to where they are from and they are actually helping others. It's not the hundreds of millions of streams, District 1 Commissioner Oliver G said. Yeah, yeah, I did that already. Hold on. Yeah, it's not the 100s of millions of streams, District 1 Commissioner Oliver G. Gilbert said. I bring people here and I give them the key to the county when they are benefiting them. And they are a testament to where they are from and they are actually helping others. Currency from New Orleans was honored with the key to the city of New Orleans for his philanthropic efforts in the city he calls home. He's not only made his mark on hip hop, but continues to pour into his city through jet life, athletics, and beyond. New Orleans Mayor Latoya Cantrell wrote on Instagram about Spitter being recognized. It was my honor to present him with the key to the city of New Orleans. All right. There you go. There you go. All right. All right. Let's get to hang on one second here. Oh, Melon Day. Let's talk about that though. Oh shit. Oh shit. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. National Melon Day. Let's get to that right there. Oh man. All right. Okay, so let's get to all right. So Melon Day takes place on the second Sunday in August. This year it takes place on August 9th. On this special day, we celebrate cantaloupes, gallias, and all the other musk melons, specifically those belonging to the people of Turkmen, Turkmenistan. um, If you are like us, you may have confused watermelons for melons at least once in your life. However, these two fruits are very different, even though they stem from the same family. Melons, particular musk melons, have an important agricultural heritage and are the pride of the people of Turkmenistan, a country located in Central Asia. Today, they honor not only their well groomed muskmelons, but a fine cross breed named after their first president, the Turkmen melon. Whew. Okay, let's go over the history of Melon Day, National Melon Day. Okay, so they are hard, musky, and netted on the outside, but soft, succulent, and orange or white on the inside. Today, all the hype is about musk melons, these juicy fruits that are not to be confused with any other kind of melon. We often find ourselves placing all melons in the same category, but this is an oversight on our part. Musk melons are quite different from all other melons, and this can be attributed to their physical features and taste. They typically have smooth, ribbed, wrinkled, or netted exteriors with sweet flesh that is yellow or white. Some examples of musk melons are cantaloupes, honeydews, and gallias. Although they are celebrating all kinds of muskmelons today, Melon Day originated in Turkmis- Turkmenistan and holds cultural significance for its people. For those who may not know, Turkmenistan is the least populated country found in Central Asia. They are known for their beautiful cultural heritage and also their delicious melons. Turkmenistan is responsible for approximately 400 of the melons, the melon varieties we have today. They grow and cultivate muskmelons in great numbers, and this has been an integral part of their history and culture for decades. Melons hold such importance that one of the crossbreed products is named after the first president, Sapar Murat, Sapar Murat Niyazov, who is also the creator of this holiday. He preferred to be known as Turkmenbashi, which means leader of the people. The Turkmenbashi melon is revered for its aroma, taste, and hefty size. All right, let's go over to the timeline of Melon Day. Yeah. Um, 2400 BC, picture perfect. The first record of muskmelon is traced back to this time on an Egyptian picture of a fun, a funerary offerings. 500 AD, 1500 AD, melons travel north. Musk melons are introduced to China and other Asian countries in the Middle Ages. 1994, the best musk melons, the first president of Turkmenistan, Sapar Murat Niyazov, establishes Melon Day. 2004, a fruit of paradise, the president of Turkmenistan refers to the Turkmen melons as the source of their pride and as a fruit of paradise in address to farmers. His address to farmers. Okay. All right. Melon activities. Eat a muskmelon. How else can you celebrate Melon Day other than eating some delicious melons? Cassava canaries. Oh shit. And honeydews are a few of the sweet possibilities you can enjoy on this holiday, and remember to share them with your family and friends. Making something with musk melon. Musk melon can be eaten in several ways. One way is by it including it in desserts. You can make melon boats, fruit salads, a traditional Chinese dish called gluttonous rice fresh melon, and coconut roll. Go online and see what tasty dessert you could make today with one, two, or even three varieties musk musk melon. Attend the festival if you find yourself in Turkmenistan on Melon Day. Join in for the festivities. The people organize several festivals, events, and even competitions to commemorate their cultural holiday. You can also take some time out, explore, and see what the city has to offer. Five fun facts about cantaloupes. Whoa, wait. You kidding, right? Oh man, hold on. Wait, you kidding, right? Number one, it's named after a city. The name Cantaloupe was derived from Cantalupo, Italy, which was the first place where the seeds arrived from Armenia in the 16th century. Number two, low in calories, high in vitamins. An average size cantaloupe will have just approximately 100 calories and contain a bounty of vitamins. They win the popularity contest. Cantaloupes are the most popular melons in America. They have flowers. Cantaloupe plants produce small yellow flowers while developing. Um, Number five, ripe ones are easy to detect. When a cantaloupe is ripe, its vines simply detach from the fruit and its rind, and the netting turns beige or cream underneath. Why we love Melon Day, you ask? It's a delicious holiday. Who doesn't love a holiday where we can indulge in sweet tasting melons eaten on their own or as part of a dish or dessert? The flavorful options are endless. It encourages us to eat fruits. Many of us don't eat as much fruit as we should, but a holiday like this allows us to have our fill. This day encourages us to eat more fruits, and not just any fruit, but one of the sweetest you could come across, musk melons. It's part of Turkmenistan's cultural heritage. This holiday is not only important to the history, culture, and people of Turkmenistan, it was also established by them. Melon Day allows us to appreciate the wonderful fruit, gives us a sneak peek into Turkmenistan culture, and allows us to learn more about the people. All right, next year, okay, next year is Sunday, August 9th. Okay. Okay. Sunday, August 9th. So there you go. No, Sunday, August 9th. Okay. That's next year. All right. All right. Now let's get into let's get into um let's get into some tech business, some tech um let's get into some tech stuff. Um I want to go over some gadgets here that's on the website. Let's see. Let's see. Hold on. Okay. Time for Crunch Tech mentions. All right. All right. Crunch Tech mentions. Here we go. And this is from the people from Tech Advisor. All right. So let's get into this actually. Let's see. Wait a second. Wait a second here. Never heard of this, but let's let's talk about it. All right. Images of Motorola's next flagship phone have emerged online, along with a further indication that the company is moving away from its Edge branding for a new brand. Last week, longtime reliable leaker Evan Blass, aka EV Leaks, uh, claimed that Motorola's first non-foldable flagship phone since May 2024 would not be the rumored Motorola Edge 70 Ultra after all. Instead, the company is producing a new Motorola signature brand. We saw some slightly blurry snaps of the smartphone earlier in December, back when we were still calling the phone the Edge 70 Ultra. Now, however, Blast is back with some much let me see, much clearer shots of Motorola's signature device. Despite the new branding and the crafted for the visionaries tagline, whatever that means, it looks a lot like a Motorola flagship phone, to be honest. Take curve, hang on. Take the curved display of the Motorola Edge 50 Ultra, but apply the cleaner rear panel of the Motorola Edge 70 and you have something akin to the signature. It's impossible to tell. We see the phone side on, but has Motorola slim its flagship offering down a little. It wouldn't be a surprise given that the Motorola Edge 70 measured just 5.99 millimeter thin. These detailed shots showing the phone in olive and carbon highlight the pleasing material finish that those earlier leaks only hinted at. Motorola's love of a tactile finish is still on full display, and I'm glad to see it. Motorola signature specs. Previous leaks suggest that the Motorola signature will run on Qualcomm's Snapdragon 8 Gen 5, paired with an impressive 16 of gigabytes of RAM. This suggests broadly flagship-ish performance while also hinting at aggressive pricing. Um, we've also heard it said that the phone will be fronted by a 1.5K all LED display, while the camera set up could include a Sony um, Lightia periscope telephoto camera with a 12 to 71 millimeter focal range. While we don't quite buy the leak marketing line that the Motorola signature has been crafted for the visionaries, we're looking forward to another handsome flagship from the Lenovo owned brand. All right, let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Fresh details concerning the Oppo Find X9 Ultra camera have emerged online and is shaping up to be a bit of a beast. Regular tipster digital chat station has taken to Weibo to reveal some juicy tidbits concerning the forthcoming Oppo Find X9 Ultra, which expected to arrive in April of 2026. According to the leaker, the Oppo Find X9 Ultra will pack not one but two 200 MP camera sensors. The first of those will be the main. Hold on. Oppo Find X9 Ultra cameras. The first of those will be the main camera with a huge, larger than 1 inch sensor, likely to lift it into contention as the best camera phone on the market. The other 200 MP sensor will apparently belong to the Oppo Find X9 Ultra's periscope telephoto camera. DCS claims that this latter mid telephoto sensor likely boosts the highest light intake in its class. It seems there'll be a secondary periscope telephoto camera with a 50 MP resolution and a 10x zoom length for those longer shots too. Whether this combination is enough to provide the ultimate performance in the mobile phone industry, as is claimed here, remains to be seen. However, our experience of the Find X9 range to date certainly leaves room for optimism. Our reliever fell in love with the Oppo Find X9 Pro a couple of months ago, particularly its phenomenal cameras, complete with optional telephoto extender kit. They reckon that this is the best camera phone on the market here in the UK. The prospect of something even better on the horizon is quite something. Here's hoping we get to see it in the West, unlike the Apple Find X8 Ultra pictured above. All right. Let me see. Let's take a look here. Hold on. Wait a minute here. Wow. OnePlus might be best known for its phones, but you shouldn't ignore what the company is doing in the tablet space. The mid range Pad 3 made a splash when it arrived earlier this year, but now OnePlus is targeting buyers on a stricter budget. Its new Pad Go 2 is available to buy now from OnePlus in the UK. It is an it is an RRP of 319 euros, but you can buy it from 269 euros at the time of writing. And there are several reasons to do so. You can read our full OnePlus Pad Go 2 review to find out what it's like to use, but these are the key details. An impressive tablet in its own right. So, arguably, the most exciting is 5G support. This is the first time the technology has been available in a OnePlus tablet. However, it's worth noting that you'll have to double the storage to 256 gigabytes and pay 349 euros in the process. The device also boasts a 12.1-inch 2.8K display with a 120 hertz refresh rate, and Dolby Vision support. On paper, that's quite the upgrade from the 11.3 inch, 2.4K, 90 hertz, one found on its predecessor, 2024's original Pad Go. Of course, you can interact with the display using your fingers, but also the optional dedicated One Plus Pad Go to Stylo pen that's launched alongside it. Another exciting improvement is the boosted battery, which now offers a 10,050 mAh capacity. Battery life on the Pad Go was already solid, and it's now even better. It's supported by just 33W charging, though, so getting from 0 to 100% still takes a while. The device boosts the same Oxygen OS software as the OnePlus Pad 3, including a full suite of AI functionality. There, there are even exclusive features such as a math equation solver within the Notes app. Altogether, it's a compelling alternative to the likes of the Samsung Galaxy Tab A A11 Plus and Xiaomi Pad 7. A new budget smartwatch option, like the idea of a OnePlus smartwatch, but don't want to pay 319 euros for the Watch 3. The company has a new alternative in the form of the Watch Lite. You can read our full Watch Lite review to find out how it performs in day to day life. But this is what you need to know. Priced at just 179 euros, but currently available from OnePlus for 159 euros. It's a much more affordable entry point into the world of wearables. The device features a stainless steel case with, yeah, stainless steel case with an ultra shallow depth of just 8.9 millimeters. The watch itself weighs only 35, 35G, although it'll be significantly more once you add a strap. It's also home to a 1.46-inch AMOLED, hold on, AMOLED display, AMOLED, which OnePlus says boosts a peak brightness of 3,000 nits. Um, Crucially, the OnePlus Watch Lite has the exact same set of sensors as the Watch 3, including the ability to take ECGs. Unlike most smartwatches, the full range of features is available to both iPhone and Android phone users. You can even pair with two devices at the same time. OnePlus claims that the Watch Lite offers up to 10 days of battery life, although this is partly down to the lack of Google's Wear OS software. Let's see, yeah. Instead, it runs OnePlus's more basic RTOS system. It'll it'll face strong competition from OnePlus own Watch 2R, which was 249 euros at launch, but is often discounted. Damn. Check out check our guides to the best tablets and smartwatches, to see what the Pad Go 2 and Watch Lite are up against. More interested in the phones? Our OnePlus 15 and 15R Super Guide has everything you need to know. Okay. Okay. Um Hold on. Oh, that's crazy, man. We got another passing too, actually. Got another passing. And we need to talk about it, actually. Okay. All right, let's get into this next segment involving the passing of the person who created the Call of Duty. In this segment right here, Video Game Entertainment Newsroom. Yeah, unfortunately, we got a passing that we need to talk about here. Let's see. As reported by NBC Los Angeles, the former Infinity Ward co-founder and Call of Duty co-creator died in a car crash on Southern California's Angeles Crest Highway. The car reportedly veered off the road in the San Gabriel Mountains and hit a concrete barrier, after which it caught fire. The driver was trapped in the fire while a passenger was ejected from the car as a result of the crash. The driver died at the scene and the passenger died at the hospital, NBC reports. It's not confirmed whether Zimpella was the driver or the passenger, and the identity of the other person in the car has not yet been confirmed. It is not yet known what led to the crash, but NBC reports that a witness provided video of the crash, which involved a 2026 Ferrari 296 GTS, to authorities investigating the incident. A spokesperson for Electronic Arts said, "This is an unimaginable loss, and our hearts are with Vince's family, his loved ones, and all those touched by his work." Damn, that shit's gotta suck, man. That shit really fucking sucks, man. Yeah, Vince's influence on the video game industry was profound and far reaching. A friend, colleague, leader, and visionary creator, his work helped shape modern interactive entertainment and inspired millions of players and developers around the world. His legacy will continue to shape how games are made and how players connect for generations to come. Zampella started his career as a graphic designer in the 90s, eventually working for game companies such as Atari and Sega. His big break came at 2015 Incorporated, where he was the lead designer of the critically acclaimed Electronic Arts first person shooter, Medal of Honor Allied Assault. After its release, Zampella co founded Infinity Ward with Grant Collier and Jason West, and signed a publishing agreement with Activision with the aim of creating a first-person shooter that would surpass the Medal of Honor series. The result was the blockbuster Call of Duty franchise, and Zampella would continue to lead Infinity Ward as the studio released numerous entries in the series, up to Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 in 2009. Um, Zampella's relationship with the series would last less than a decade. However, and following a high profile dispute with Activision, which saw Zampella and West fired and denied bonuses for Modern Warfare 2, they formed Respawn Entertainment in 2010. The studio would go on to release Titanfall 2, Apex Legends, and Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order with their former publisher Electronic Arts. Respawn was acquired by EA in 2017, and Zampella took on leadership of another EA-owned studio, and the LA arm of DICE in 2020 before being chosen to oversee the Battlefield series in 2021, following the disappointing release of Battlefield 2042. The result of Zampella's leadership was Battlefield 6, which released earlier this year and sold over 7 million copies in its first 3 days, making it the biggest launch in the series history. We never take moments like this for granted, so I want to express our sincere gratitude to our global Battlefield studios and passionate community that has helped get us to this point, Zampella said in a statement after the game's launch. We appreciate you joining us for Battlefield 6 momentous launch. We have so much more to come in the weeks ahead. Reacting to the news on X, the Game Awards producer Jeff Kiley, who called Zampella a dear friend, and wrote, in quote, Vince was an extraordinary person, a gamer at heart, but also a visionary executive with a rare ability to recognize talent and give people the freedom and confidence to create something truly great. I saw that up close while writing the final hours of Titanfall. I'll always be deeply grateful that he trusted me to tell the story of the company's founding, even when it was difficult or uncomfortable. Vince never wavered in his commitment to honesty and transparency. He believed that the truth mattered, and he was willing to share it with the world. Vince cared deeply about doing the right thing, and even while working inside large organizations, he consistently pushed to the players first to prioritize the experience, the craft, and the people who played the games. He leaves behind an incredible legacy of work. I'll miss our dinners and long conversations. And while he created some of the most influential games of our time, I always felt he still had his greatest one ahead of him. It's heartbreaking that we'll never get to play it. SIP to Vince Zampella. And we got one more topic here in the gaming news. So let's get to it right here. So as our regular news posting comes to a close for 2025, what remains is to wish you a very Merry Christmas and Happy New Year from everyone at Video Games Chronicle. Our news team will return full time on Friday, January the 2nd. However, as usual, there will be plenty to look out for over the festive break, including our usual end of the year features looking at the biggest games of 2026. For our VGC Patreon members, there's even more content planned, starting today with special VGC Afterlife and Midler versus Scullion video series, soon to be followed by additional features thanks to our Christmas Drive supporters, including a Mario Party Team Showdown, Quiz of the Year, and more. Thanks to everyone who supported VGC on Patreon this year. In a media landscape that continues to be challenging, your support is hugely valued and goes a long way in helping us continue to do what we do best. Speaking of our Christmas drive, there's still plenty of bonus content to fund, for those considering joining or upgrading your tier, including potential monthly live streams from the VGC team. There's a lot to look forward to in the video games next year, not least Grand Theft Auto 6 finally probably making its way into public hands, and we're looking forward to covering it for you here on VGC. By the way, I already talked about Grand Theft Auto 6 being delayed to November 19th of next year. So just want to put it out there. We already have some very special coverage plans for January and beyond, not least our first ever live podcast event later in the year. Thanks to everyone who visited, commented, and shared this year. See you in 2026. All right. Okay. All right. Time for the last segment of the night. Stream choices on the go. All right. Make sure you follow Off the Meat Rat Chainz New York Avenue podcast on Facebook, Bluesky Social, Threads, and Instagram. The same goes for my other podcast shows that's on the same social media platforms, as well as my sports edition show, Excellent, Fun, Vibrant Talks podcast, alongside with the entertainment review show, Meticulous Vibe Juice podcast. Let's see. You can also follow your host with the most, G Money Stacks 555 in Queens, New York, on Threads and Instagram. Now, when you go to the link in bio on either my primary page or the podcast show page, you're gonna see the same link that says Linktree/G Money Stacks 555. All right. I want to actually, let me just look for it real quick. Let me look for this real quick, actually. Okay. So, yeah, when you go to the link in bio, you're going to see a whole list of artistry and platform podcasts feed links. You can see Odyssey, Audible, Audioburst, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts. Don't forget to leave a 5-star rating and a review on Apple Podcasts. It really helps the show grow and gives me the strength and confidence to create more content, along with new topics to talk about in each segment. Okay, so Castbox FM, Deezer, Listen Notes, Moon FM Podcast, Overhaul FM Podcast, Pandora, Player FM, Pocket Cast, Podo Polo, Podorama, Podcast Index, Podcast Addict, Podchaser, Podverse, Podcast Guru, Podcatcher, Podcast Republic, Snipped, Spotify. Don't forget to add the podcast to your Spotify playlist and press the notification bell to follow the podcast on Spotify so you'll know when each episode will be posted and uploaded. And you can also listen on Spotify for creators, TuneIn Radio, Fountain, Good Pods, iHeartRadio, the number one app where you can listen to your favorite music artists such as rappers, singers in R&B, pop stars, rock and roll artists, and other music genres. Your favorite AM and FM radio stations, and you can also listen to the podcast episodes for free. You don't need a credit card. You don't need a credit card or debit card to download iHeartRadio. All you need to do is make sure you download iHeartRadio onto your phones, such as iPhones, Android phones, alongside with iPads, Android tablets. Laptops are included, such as Apple Mac and Dell laptops, including Windows 10 and 11. All right, and also make sure you hit that subscribe button on the YouTube channel page, G Money Stacks 555. And leave a like and a comment alongside with the topics. All right. Now, you can share the Linktree link with your husbands, your wives, your boyfriends, girlfriends, people you're cool with from work, and of course, you know, don't forget to enable alerts so you'll be in the know and notified on when I'll be on the air via live stream with more video podcast episode live stream recordings. And of course, be sure to also you can also download your favorite episodes as well. You can also share the videos. You can also subscribe to my other YouTube channel pages, my sports YouTube channel page, Excellent Fun Vibrant Talks podcast, and my entertainment review show, Meticulous Vibe Juice podcast as well. All right. And new episodes will be dropped on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And because it's Christmas and stuff, I'm going to try my best to actually drop and 1 or 2 episodes either today or tomorrow. Today, maybe. Tomorrow, most likely, because it's Christmas. So it makes more sense to drop it on either Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. All right. So there you go right there. That's gonna do it for me, man. I'm your man G Money Stacks, aka the Gregonator, your host with the most. Rhymes with now or later. Thank you, everyone, for listening to the episodes, and including this one. You could have listened to any other episodes, any other podcast in the whole world, but you chose to listen to this podcast. Remember, the grind doesn't stop. Hard work pays off. If you want something, you have to work hard and earn it. It's not going to be given to you on a fucking silver platter. And of course, be sure to also follow your goals and dreams on whatever career field you're trying to do, whether you are trying to start a podcast, whatever it may be. Don't let anybody tell you or stop you to tell you or intimidate you to say that there's no money in everything. Like just yesterday, I actually did a topic involving DJ Academics, who said that there's no money in music. Well, if there's no money in music, then how come people have first week sales on their album projects? That's the thing that kind of threw me off right there. But don't let anybody intimidate you and tell you that there's no money in certain things. Just follow your heart, follow your goals and dreams, and whatever. And if you plan on and whatever you're trying to do, if you plan on starting a podcast, it's never too late. Doesn't matter what age you are. Um, be on your P's and Q's. But by being yourself behind the microphone while you are recording your podcast episodes, creatively, mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually, that gets you into your zone alongside with tunnel vision. All right. I want to remind y'all. For those of you that's into sports and stuff. I want to actually remind y'all. For those of you who's into football, this one's for you. All right. Um. Yeah. So tomorrow at 1 p.m., the Cowboys versus the Commanders. It's going to be on Netflix, followed by the Lions versus Vikings game at 4:30 p.m. on Netflix, and the Broncos versus the Chiefs at 8:15 p.m. on Amazon Prime Video. All right. Again, tomorrow, 1 p.m., Cowboys versus Commanders on Netflix, followed by Lions versus Vikings at 4:30 p.m. on Netflix, and of course the Broncos versus the Chiefs at 8:15 p.m. on Amazon Prime Video. All right. All right, that's gonna do it. That's gonna do it, man. I hope y'all. I hope y'all enjoy yourselves. Um, Merry Christmas to everybody in 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 the five boroughs, like New York, especially Brooklyn, Bronx, Manhattan, Staten Island, and Queens, the tri-state areas of New Jersey, Connecticut, USA, international, Canada as well. Um, and and yeah, man, I hope y'all took care of your Christmas shopping. And like I said, man, I want to wish y'all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year of 2026. All right. Take care of yourselves. Stay tuned for more new topics in the next episode. Peace and one love. Good night, everybody.